Well, today's the day we're digging into the master cylinder, booster, and proportioning valve. So I'm going to be swapping out Wildwood proportioning valve for the factory disc brake drum brake, and then we're going to be swapping out the 3rd gen master and booster for 4th gen setup. The reason, if you haven't seen in my other videos, I'm going to be swapping it out is because this top with the rubber gasket bob, it just is terrible. And every time I've had them check at autocross and they give it the old shake, if this isn't clicked all the way down or this little diaphragm gets stuck, it just ejects fluid right onto the exhaust manifolds and it sucks. So take you over here, show you the new parts that I got. So like I said, factory OE replacement, 4th gen booster and master. So we're gonna go ahead and get all that torn apart, bench bleed this bad boy. We're gonna have to make some lines to put the Wildwood proportioning valve in. So this is an adjustable proportioning valve. So I'll have a little bit of adjustment on the rear line pressure. And then we'll get the new stuff on. Figure I'll bring you in so you kind of see if you're thinking about doing it. There is 1 clip and 4 bolts up here. So the clip's on the rod and the 4 bolts are right there on the firewall. And that'll pull out that booster. So let's get the work. Alright, well that went relatively quick. I just shot some Croil, some looby-dooby on all those, and they actually came off super easy. That was easy. Mr. Dan's over here helping me tonight. He's pulling off the bolts on the inside of the booster, so that should come out. I got all this junk. So one thing that I was watching some videos, my buddy, the 3rd gen guy, said that there is a possibility that this rear line could be a weird thread. So let me get the camera where you're actually looking. So we're gonna go see if this is the weird thread or if I got lucky. So I don't know, but we're gonna see. I did not get lucky. So the 2 lines I am gonna have to reflare is these 2. So it's actually the 2 front lines. This is the rear line worked with the adapter that I had. So I will have to reflare those 2 lines, which it is what it is. We'll get in there. We'll make it happen. Old crusty donut hole boosters out. Now we're going to do some so bench bleed directions. I don't know, obviously I've bench bled stuff before, but the directions say that you're supposed to fill it 3/4 of the way full and then let it drip until you get a steady stream. Do you guys do that, or do you just give it the old pumperoonie? So, and then it also says between plunges, slowly depress, and then give it 20 seconds before you depress it again. How do you guys? I don't know if it's a dumb idea if it works, but you know, you got to use your bench flaring tool in a big pair of vice grips to flare your line. Should work. If it works, you know it works. So, bloop, there we go. Nice little bubble. So we got to do one more, and then we can get the master on here and get the the Wildwood proportioning valve on. So. And I remembered to put the fitting on. That's a win right there. Bring you in on this. So this is the proportioning valve, and it has, you can see there, R1 and F1. So you have your fronts, FO, and your rear. I did have to make these bad boys. All I did is just took some of that copper nickel, whatever jazz, line that I had. I had that stuff left over from when I was doing the F-150 and just bent those in. So we're going to get this all put back in because I did have to make those 2. Throw the flare, inverted flare on both of those, and it's ready to go back in. So we'll get it all in, get it all tightened up, and I'll show you together. But one thing I did want to say is you have your rear and your front. The way that it says to do it is it says to put the front into the rear and the back port on the master cylinder into the front. So that's the way I'm going to do it. So I don't know if you guys done it different or does it really matter, but you let me know. That's the way it says this needs to lay out for this 4th gen one. So tell me if I'm right, tell me if I'm wrong. Bring you back in here to show you how everything looks. So like I said, I reused all those factory lines for the front and the rear feed. I did have to reconnectorize the 2 front lines. I had to make those 2 upper makeup lines, but that's where I mounted the proportioning valve. Mounted it with the knob up front, obviously, just for easy accessibility. I don't know what I'm going to default set this on, but all I need to do is bleed the brakes, and I think I'm going to save the old road test for the conclusion of my disc brake video. But everything's installed. Like I said, all in all, it was not wasn't that bad of an install. I had my buddy here helping me. Took us probably about 3.5 hours. Get the booster out. Those nuts on getting the old one off are kind of a pain. The new one, they made it smaller studs and smaller nuts, so it was a little bit easier getting them on there and getting them tight than the factory one off. But yeah, I'm making video in the future to tell you how this upgrade does, but everything I read on the internet, it's supposed to be a really good upgrade. I didn't have to customize anything. You do have to flare a couple lines. So if you can flare some lines and bolt stuff in the factory spots, you can do this upgrade. Definitely looks a heck of a lot better. It is definitely closer to the firewall. It gives you a little more room in the engine bay too. So no negatives thus far, but stay tuned for road test and more of my racing videos, and I'll let you know how it does. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, hit that like, subscribe. More 3rd gen stuff coming, more other stuff coming. We might even work on that thing someday. But thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you again next time.